Morning all. Welcome to the Jester. Welcome to the court of the Edijester. Hello. Can't even get started right this morning. All that's new and approved, beep beep from the Jester Newsbum. Right, so there are times when I despair. This is one of those times. There was an article that I wrote yesterday because I was well aware of the fact that the new censorship bill had come in that was about to ravage free speech in Britain. And I was of the opinion that it was a very bad idea. So I wrote this polemical piece called For the Good of the Children, The Ultimate Trojan Horse, which is available on Substack and Twitter as of this morning. It was available yesterday as well. I watched it. I watched what happened. It went sort of normally as one of my articles do, which is I put it out there. Within a couple of hours, it had 500 or 600 not imprints, whatever you want to call it, impressions. And then it slowed down a bit, but it kept building. A couple of people responded, had a few comments. And then the evidence of obvious censorship began to appear that had nothing to do with what people think this is about, which is pornography. And then it shot up to about 5,000 views in no time at all. So I'm intrigued to see whether it'll get any more, but I'm also intrigued to try to understand what's happened here, because I know that many of the people that are involved in this awful idea that censorship is ever a good thing. Did we learn nothing from Prohibition? Did we learn nothing from that? Or the imprisoning of people for owning horror films back in the 80s? Did we learn nothing from that? We've certainly appears learned nothing from what we know about the British state, which has, and always will have, I imagine, until we deal with it, a censorious and incarcerating bent. I was also surprised to see so many people that we see as our kin in this collaborative scrap against the horror of not just trans, but also EDI, DEI. This is really bringing into focus the danger of what we're seeing from these people that are purporting to represent the country, which they don't, by the way, because people voted for them because they weren't Tory. Now, the Tory party started this ridiculous bill, the Online Safety Act, and Labour Party just gave it rocky fuel. And it's in, and you got what you wanted. Pornography, in order to get pornography, you now have to sign up with a facial recognition software, or you need to give your driving license or your passport details to some random company in America, right? Or any other country that happens to be the one that's being used to do it, which of course is not covered by our laws, not covered by our laws in regard data. And even if it is covered by our laws in regards data, the idea that we are giving to either the government or to some corporation or faceless business details about ourselves in such a way that they can then trace back is insane on every level. There is no level in which it is not insane. So let's take a look and see a little bit about what this actually means, because I don't think many people understand what it means. There was a person that from Ofcom, one of the most captured things in the country when it comes to this EDI, bloody DEI, trans and gender nonsense, are the ones that are deciding what you and I can't see. Hello, what are you clapping about? Oh, the truth of the matter is this. It's given the EDI, DEI, trans, non-binary, anti-racist, all the usual rubbish. It's given them an unbelievable weapon. And we did it for the good of the children. Do we want children to be safe? Of course we want children to be safe. But if you imagine that the mummy or daddy state is going to help you do that, you're living in cloud cuckoo land. And if you don't imagine that this is going to come back and bite us on the ass, you are living in cloud cuckoo land. Yesterday, an app called T-E-A-T, which is an app apparently where women go and discuss and moan and groan about men, right? Fine, if you want to do that, has been hacked. And 57 gigabytes of information about their users, including photographs and names, is now online and freely available to everybody. You can't shut that gate. That's a data breach with big data, and not even as big data as we're talking about here. All those women now have moaned about these men. These men can go and look. They can go and look and see what these women have been saying. And the best case scenario is some of them will get sued for slander or libel or whatever they call it. And the worst case scenario is they're going to get hunted down for what they've said. Think on that. Right? And that's just something that's happened randomly. And random men will do horrible things like that. Think on it. What do you think's going to happen when we give the government this power? What do you think's going to happen when we give the corporations this power for the good of the children? So the act is wrong in many ways, and I've got links to it in the article that goes with this, and you can go and have a look at the act yourself. If not, I've given you some breakdown of where I think there's a problem. So let's go. It's insane. The false communication offence risks targeting content questioning Labour's EDI/DEI narratives, like misinformation on diversity policies, with its broad harm criteria, chilling free speech. So it's not just about porn, which incidentally, you can't stop. It's utterly insane to me that they don't get this. Let me tell you how this is going to work, because it's obvious to me how it's going to work. I asked a couple of younger people yesterday what the game was, and then here's the game, right? A USB, an average USB now with what, 2 gigabytes, 3 gigabytes of bloody, memory, will hold thousands of images and thousands of videos. It's that simple. That's what storage allows us to do. A USB can be stuck in your pocket. There are some that are disguised as other things so you don't know that they're a USB. There is now thousands of those USBs doing the rounds, which have got all the stuff on there that you don't want to kids, and they're being given to kids by other people, by other kids. I promise you, this is what you've done. Okay? This is what you've done with your abjectly stupid, let's censor the internet nonsense. It's what you've done. I know you didn't mean to do it. I know you didn't. When they passed the GRA back in God knows when, they didn't mean to do it either. This is absolutely about, as I call it, L-U-L-O-U-C. Luke. L-O-U-C. Luke, I am your father. Right? The law of unintended consequences. That's just exactly what it's about. So there they go with their USBs. You don't think we've got people that think it's okay to put kids on puberty blockers and to remove the breasts of young girls and to remove the genitals of young people and to mutilate their genitals. We've got people that think that's okay. And you don't imagine that there aren't going to be thousands of USB sticks going around. So let me tell you what will happen next. Is the bunch of people that think this is a good idea because it protects the children will then go, well, we need to deal with those people that have got those USB sticks. What do you want to do? Arrest them? Stick them in prison? Allow the police to go into their homes because your 14-year-old boy's got some pictures on a USB stick and then take every single item in the home to look at? Is that what you want to do? Is that what you've handed the carceral state? It's just... This is so unbelievably stupid that I'm angry with everyone, including myself. So you've got the nebulous concept of harmful content. Well, what does that even mean? What does that mean? What's harmful content? According to whom? According to Ofcom? Are you nuts? Harmful concept is me. It will be me saying that some bloke, some doctor bloke in a dress is a man. How long do you think it's going to take until that's a thing? How long? This is unconscious. You know what? I swear to God, I reckon there's a correlation. You could tell me between people that voted for this government and people that think this law is a good idea. I'll put money on it. But you could have to tell me, right? So harmful content, gendered ideology, racial quotas. What if you start screaming against that? Is that dangerous? Is that seen by the government as dangerous? It's absolutely insane. We've had a woman visited by Prevent because she took a holiday in Israel. How far do you think this is going to go? Oh, it's just great. We've won a big victory because we managed to get a small number of porn sites to use face identification. Well, actually, that's not what it's going to be because it isn't just porn sites. Right? Discord servers are being shut down. I saw one yesterday where they can't get in and talk about making cider because it's about alcohol. What did you think was going to happen? Who's going to have the data? What stops the data being breached like it was with the T-app yesterday? The naivety is astounding technologically. Astounding. And you haven't started yet with Signal and Telegraph. You think they're going to play ball? And you really want to give over encryption? Because that's what comes next. VPNs. They'll go for VPNs next. And then encryption. They'll stop VPNs being used. And then they'll go for encryption so that nothing's encrypted. If you do not get your head round what is happening here, then I don't know how to help you. Really, I don't. And this isn't a conspiracy theory. It took less than 12 hours for this to start taking effect on X, for example. And there are various services that are no longer available to the Brits at all. The Americans are fuming because they're affecting American firms. So I know that American legal bodies are already getting their act together to see what they can do to cut this out, to stop it. And absolutely right. We desperately need a free speech law that is absolute, except in the most extreme circumstances. So we've got Ofcom, who is an ideological enforcer. Oh, well, great. They've got the power to block platforms. Yep, and regulate legal but harmful material. Legal but harmful? Oh, give me a break. So what does that include? And who's going to decide what's legal and what's harmful? Who's going to decide? Honest to God, people, wake up and smell the damn coffee, all right? This is a dangerous thing, and it's dangerous across the board. And God forbid, I mean, it's this idea that in any way that this is going to stop people from, or children, is what they say it's for the children. What they really mean is they don't want anyone to access pornography. Well, they say, you can't close that door. It's like having a gate in the middle of a beach, just a gate on its own, and saying to everybody, you've got to use that gate. The technological ignorance is astounding, right? It'll go offline. That's the first thing. They'll use USBs and whatever it may be. And if you don't think children are going to get their hands on that, then you haven't been watching. You don't imagine for one second these lunatics that are teaching children all about how to safely strangle someone, how to make sure that you're either a boy or a girl, how to do X, Y, Z in schools aren't scurrying around in the background. Then you're mad. So don't sit there and congratulate yourselves that you've done a good thing. You haven't done a good thing. You've handed the very people that are a problem a mass tool for controlling our ability to fight against this nonsense, to fight against gender, to fight against LGBTQ, to fight against anti-racist and EDI and DEI. You've handed them a huge tool because you, in some bizarre world, imagine that the state is mummy and daddy who's going to save you. Cut it out. You don't want children using pornography. I understand that. Somebody gave me an example yesterday of an 8-year-old, to which my response was, any 8-year-old that's on the bloody internet unsupervised, then you need to talk to the parents, right? If you're talking about people who are older, then it needs to be about education and it needs to be community-driven by parents and you. Find a smart person in your street that understands all about it and teach these young people about how porn can make you nuts, about how it warps your way of seeing things. Don't wait for mummy and daddy state to come and do it for you. I'm so angry with everybody, including me. But you go and have a look. Let me know, because this is going to be the conversation for the moment. It certainly is. Ooh, angry jester. I shall now calmly go and have a cup of tea and a bacon sandwich, and of course then we will get world peace. I shall see you later. Go and look at the article. Bye-bye.